As a long-term Revolut user myself, I want to share in this video a couple of updates that they've recently made. One that affects every user. They moved away from cashback and now all cashback will be RevPoints in the future. So I'll walk you through what it means and how it works. And secondly, they made some great new additions to the Revolut Ultra plan, which I'm on myself. So I think it's really exciting to see them adding more value to their premium tier plan. Right, but first off, the change that affects every user going forward will be the change to their cashback program. So I got the email over here where they clearly explain that from middle of September, basically this year, they will no longer be having their cashback in place on any of the plans. Instead, they will be moving the same concept in a way, but instead of actual fiat cashback that you got in the form of euros, pounds, or dollars, now it will be Rev points, the Revolut points, kind of their cashback version. So it's still a form of cashback, it's just in their own currency if you want, which is called Rev points. Depending on which plan you're on, I'm myself on the highest plan, the Ultra plan, so I'll be getting 1 point per every euro spent. If you're on the lowest plan, the standard plan, the free plan, you will only be getting 1 point for every 10 euros spent. So quite a difference over there, a 10x multiplier. But what I love about it is now there is no more upper limit on how much you can actually earn, because previously you could never earn more on cashback than you paid in monthly fees for your membership plan. So this is really amazing. So if you spend a lot or maybe use it for business expenses as well, you can really have no limit to how much you can earn in cashback, right? And that might potentially make the Ultra plan even more attractive for more people. Now, of course, the question is how you can redeem those. And I'll show you in a second in the app. Obviously, you can use it to redeem for airline miles, discounts on online shopping, and savings on Revolut stays and accommodation and experiences. So these are currently the things you can use to redeem your points. And just to give you an idea how it looks for the different plans when you go to Revolut and compare plans, again, depending on which country you're in. Right now, we have the UK here, but more or less the same logic applies to most countries, especially for the Rev points. You can see on the free plan, you will get 1 point for every 10 pounds spent, or once again, 10 euros. So it will be pretty much the same, depending which currency you're in. So on the Plus plan, it will still be the same. I was never a fan of the Plus plan. It just doesn't make sense for me. Then you upgrade to the premium one. Here, you get 1 point for every 4 pounds spent. On the metal one, 1 for 2 pounds. And on the Ultra plan, the one I'm on, is 1 point for every 1 pound spent. So again, that might be really attractive for you depending on how much you travel, because then you can really start redeeming those. And I'll show you in a second how much each point equate to and how much you can be saving potentially on your travels. One nice incentive, of course, is also for people to upgrade to a higher plan. You can see over here the Rev points upgrade. If you upgrade from one to the other, how many additional points you will be getting if you were to upgrade to a higher plan. So if you hop into my Revolut app over here, you can see currently I'm on the Ultra plan. And you can see the loyalty reward. So right now, I still have both the Rev points and the cashback option. But if I click into the cashback over here, you can see at the very top, turn your Rev points into rewards. Plan cashback is wrapping up on the 15th of September. So until then, you will still be getting your cashback, but then anything afterwards, it will be automatically changed into Rev points going forward. Obviously, you can see right now my cashback transactions in the past by source was actually the smallest one by the plan cashback. I mean, still 65 euros, but mostly I actually got my cashback from Revolut Pro. You can see that's what I'm using my card for mostly, and that's where I'm getting 1.2% cashback paid out to me every single month. So you can see here in some months, I mean, I got 129 euros in cashback just by using my Revolut Pro card on my Ultra plan to get that 1.2% cashback. And the great thing is there's no cap to it. So that means it doesn't matter how much you spend, you will get the 1.2 cashback without any monthly cap. So I really love that. So of course, my first question was, is this going to go away as well? And I wrote to the support and they said to me, for the time being, there's not planned any changes to that program. So if you use your Revolut Pro card, you're still going to be getting the 1.2% cashback. But if I use my regular Revolut Ultra card, then I would be getting the Rev points instead in the future. So it's up to you, depending on which use case you have. I'll come to this in a second, which one I'm going to be using. This is just something to keep in mind. If you want to keep using your Pro card, you're still going to be getting the cashback depending on your plan. I'm on the Ultra. I get 1.2% on my Pro spendings. On the Metal plan, you get 0.8, and on the Premium, 0.4, and then 0.4 and 0.4 on the free plan even. So in that way, you can already see the difference. Here, the difference is only 3 times as much from the lowest cashback plan to the highest, while with points, it's a 10x multiplier. So of course, they're really trying to incentivize people to use their Rev points instead. So basically from here, you can go into your Rev points and obviously see how many points you have, and also gives you a nice little calculator. So you can see, depending on how much you spend, how much you could be potentially saving if you use those points towards, some of the spendings you might be having. However, one question I still haven't really found the answer to is, the expiry date. Because with airlines, for example, I was always late to redeeming them and they were expired. So they haven't really explained whether they will expire or not. Hopefully not, because then you can really use them later on. Let's say you're not planning to travel anytime soon, but next year you have a big trip, you could use those points to redeem them. But if they expire by the end of this year, that would be quite unfortunate. So I'm not sure how that works. Hopefully there will be a bit more clarity in the future on that topic. And you see, of course, how you will earn. You can round up your spare change, which is not something I want, because ultimately it still goes out of your pocket, right? It just means that you passively accumulate more points, but technically I want to be in charge of my spending. So I don't like to do that. I can see 1 point per €1. So that will be depending on the plan you're on. Of course, you have some challenges also. We get a little bit of extra points. And of course, you can also have the boost. So for example, it shows you right now, you have 2 options to boost your points. So if you book a hotel or an experience, you can have double the points. So in my case, that means I will spend €1 and will get 2 points in return instead of 1 point. So that might be even more an incentive of booking your trips with Revolut. And then it talks about the ways how you can redeem it. And there are different ways. First of all, airline miles. You could, for example, send your miles into the airline mile program if you use that. You can see quite a number of them to choose from, and honestly, yeah, quite a good list. So let's say you like flying with Qatar, you can just open that up over here, and you can see 1 point equals 1 mile. So that's very straightforward, which is nice. You just continue, then obviously log in with your membership number, and then at the back end, Revolut will do the transfer. So if you like flying and collecting miles, then that might be quite an attractive way. But as I said before, honestly, I have no airline loyalty. I fly with so many different airlines, wherever I can get the best deal and best connectivity. So in my case, I really don't like collecting airline miles. All the time when I had some miles, they were either expired or I could not book it on a specific route that I wanted to book them on. So I was never a real fan of that. If you're into that, then could be a great option for that. Then you have Revolut Pay, which basically allows you to use some of the points for certain checkouts and merchants that work together with Revolut. So I'm not 100% sure yet how that actually works and where I can use that, because I haven't really seen that anywhere. So maybe some merchants are offering Revolut Pay. So far, I haven't seen too many, so it might be a new feature that they're rolling out. But yeah, in the future, obviously, you could use it directly with your payment details and then start using potentially some of your points towards your payment. So it's a little bit hard to judge, but of course, in the future, it would be great if I go into a website and I don't know, have to pay €100 and I could redeem some of my points towards that payment. I think that could be quite attractive. And then of course, you can either book stays or experiences. I think for most people, stays might be relevant. So you just go in here and, look for the hotel or place where you want to stay. Let's say London, you want to stay sometime, middle of August. Okay, go ahead and then select the property where you want to stay at. And from here, you can obviously go through. You can see right away, earn twice the points on your stays. So you can go ahead, see which hotel is suitable for your budget. And honestly, London hotels are just absolutely crazily priced. But hey, if you got the funds, why not? Enjoy yourself, treat yourself. So this room would cost for one night, €738. You could go ahead and click. And unfortunately, I will not be able to pay with the points. And I wrote to the support and asking why I can't see the option. And you will only be seeing the option if you have 1,000 points or more. Otherwise, you will not be seeing that option, right? So in my case, I can only see how many points I'll be earning. So from this booking alone, I'll be earning 1,230 points. So basically, as I'm on the Ultra plan, it will be 1 for 1. But for stays right now, they're pushing it. So it would be 2 for 1, which might be quite attractive if you're really into that. So definitely that might be good. And once you have more points, so basically after the booking, so then I would have over 1,000 points and I could start using some of those to pay for it. So let's say I had 1,000 points, which would not be enough to cover that stay, obviously, but then at least I could use those points plus pay the difference in euros, dollars, pounds, what have you. Now, of course, the question for me was, how much is actually one ref point worth, right? Because it's nice to collect them 1-to-1, but how much is it actually worth if I want to redeem it? And haven't really made it very transparent. So I went ahead and asked the support. And here you can see what they wrote me. They said, for instance, 10,000 ref points could be worth up to €200 discount in Revolut stays. Around, right? So it's not specific, it's not fixed. It might fluctuate depending on what you book, but for stays, if you calculate, it's around 2% that I would be getting in ref point, cashback, discount, whatever you want to call it. So that's actually obviously more attractive than the 1.2% I get right now in cashback from Revolut Pro. So of course the question is, what's the better way? Should you go with Revolut Pro to get the 1.2% guaranteed cashback in euros, dollars, pounds? Or should you go with the ref points without any monthly limit and then redeem them later on for certain stays or experiences? And honestly, it really depends on you. In my case, right now, I will definitely be sticking with my cashback on Revolut Pro because I know what I'm getting, right? I get actual money that I can then use towards certain things and what have you. And to be honest, in the past, I haven't really booked too many trips via Revolut stays. Even if I had a lot of points, I wouldn't be able to deploy them towards the bookings because I often found cheaper ways booking then on booking.com as I'm a Genius level 3 member over there, or other ways to get a special deal. So in that way, I haven't used them so much. Maybe I should use them more often to see if I get a good deal. And secondly, right now, it's not really clear. Are those points about to expire sometime? Or how can I redeem them in my shopping, right? It's not really clear to me. If I could use those points when I buy some running shoes or something else, then great. That might actually be more attractive, because 2% is of course more attractive than 1.2%. But at the same time, the fact that it says can be worth up to also doesn't give me confidence that they're always going to be 2% worth. Maybe on certain transactions, it will only be worth 1%. So in my eyes, if you're not using Revolut Pro, then absolutely, I think it's much more attractive than previously, because previously it was way less. In Europe, I believe it was 0.1% cashback in fiat money. So it was not really good. So now if it can be up to 2% without any monthly cap, then honestly, I think it's really a no-brainer to use it. I just hope they bring more clarity as to how to redeem it for other things apart from travel. Right, and the second thing I want to share with you is the great new addition they have done to their partnerships that they're offering as part of the Ultra plan. So this applies only for Ultra members right now, as I understand, but maybe in the future also some lower plans will get those benefits, because in the past they have done similar benefits for different plans. For example, Financial Times would have a higher plan than the Financial Times on the metal or premium, but you would still be able to access Financial Times. Let's go into it and here see all the partners. And honestly, it's nice to see that list constantly growing. I've made a video about it in the past. I was hoping that there would be more partners in the future, and honestly, they listened and added quite a few of them. So some of those have been there for a while. Of course, Financial Times is something I use every single day, so I love it. NordVPN, my VPN provider of choice, I also love it. WeWork, I use often. And then some other ones that I'm not using, but recently, for example, they added Headspace, which is quite cool, a nice meditation app if you're into this. Then they also added Sysget, so that's for music festivals. Now, I've never used that app, but seems like an interesting way to save some money on your next concert. Then they added a new one, which is The Athletic. So if you're really into sports, especially football, that is a paid subscription, but here with your Revolut Ultra plan, you'll be getting free access to it. Then they also added Headway, which is a great app, similar like Blinkist, where you get summaries of a lot of popular books out there, and within 15-20 minutes on the go, you can basically really read a whole book and get the gist of what the book is all about. So really great way to learn new things. And then one app that I really enjoyed that they added is actually Masterclass. Now, personally, I've always been toying with the idea of potentially joining Masterclass. I always thought it was super expensive and somehow never got into it, but I got so many ads and really saw some cool people on there, and I thought it would be nice to one day try it and really learn from the brightest minds in the world. And now that they added to Revolut Ultra, I think it's super awesome. And as you can see, already downloaded the app over here and already started listening to some people. For example, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Mark Cuban. I mean, it was really insightful listening to him. And of course, right, a lot of the information you already have on the internet about the people, but really having a sit down talk and listening to their guidance and so forth, I found it really powerful and really nice to have it as part of my subscription. And lastly, if you happen to be into chess, they have now a partnership with chess.com. So yeah, you can also get that over here and join the online chess community. So yeah, really nice to see that Revolut keeps on innovating and growing the Ultra product. While I think you get a lot of value, it's still 45 euros a month or pounds, depending which currency you pay in. So for a lot of people, they have thought, is it really worth it? So the more partners they're adding, honestly, it becomes ever more attractive. And I actually just extended my Revolut Ultra plan for another year. And in this video over here, I walk you through the thoughts behind it and why I chose to do so. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!